Hello everyone and welcome back to my Tech vs. Magic series. Today we are going to finish the strip mining machine. Finish it up by doing the programming. First off, I've added all these covers on the tops and bottoms like I said I was going to do. We want to add a chunk loader just to make sure that this stays loaded. Yeah, that should be fine because this is 16 long, so it should never go outside of the range of that chunk loader. Now then, I've also added some sonic screwdrivers in these. The first thing we want to do is figure out what colors these are going to be. We did up to light blue, so I guess this is going to be yellow. This one is going to be lime, and that will make this one pink. Those are going to be for the change in directions. And I think that's probably the first thing we're going to want to program is a switch directions. So that one's west and east, north and south, and up and down. We'll do this pretty much like we did last season. So 0 pp. Define a new word. We'll call that switch east-west, and that's going to be 2 times pulse. So 2 0 do yellow pulse. No, yellow. How long? We'll do a 10 tick delay. 10 pulse loop semicolon. I wonder if I need a space between that switch. Let's go ahead and do that just in case. East west 202 yellow 10 pulse loop. So that will pulse yellow twice for 10 ticks or half a second. Then I'm going to do that for all 3 and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. We have defined the switch commands. I made a mistake at first, forgot to put a semicolon there. Then we've also defined move commands, which basically pulse the frame motor twice to move whichever direction we want. So let's test that to make sure we can actually move. First, let's pulse the block breakers. So, blue 10 pulse. Should have cleaned out any. Oh, I forgot to make a think of the word, a ender chest for this. So I've got to do that too. Put the ender chest right here. But I'll do that probably off camera. Okay, but first let's see. We're going to try to move. Oh wait, this word's aren't defined. So let's do this and let that load, and then I will be back. Should probably go get an ender chest while I'm waiting. Okay, we are back. We have an ender chest. Goes there. And let's see, let's test the move east-west. Okay, something is not right. It tried to move. What could not be right? Just make sure everything's connected here. So that's connected, connected all the way there. And that goes here and is connected. Wait, is that's upside down? Isn't it? No, it's not upside down. Suppose we could try, see if it will go the other way. Let's try switching directions. See if that works. Switch. East to west. And once. But only once. Oh, I know what we need to do. We need to add a delay between here. Let's try that again. Okay, now then let's try moving again. And that didn't work. Okay, I'm going to try to figure this out and I will be back. Okay, so I have found the problem. The problem is that while these motors are in the center here, the ones that are actually responsible for moving the whole contraption, they are not connected to any frames. So when they're not being used to move, I need to offset them so that they are underneath some kind of frame of some type. So the bottom one, or the up-down one, we want that one to be going either up or down, so it doesn't matter. The north-south one, we want that one to be going south. The only way to do that is for it to move either up or down or north to south. So let's see, the first thing we're going to do is have to pulse the white wire once to secure the east-west one. So white 10 pulse. Right, we have broke the things that had them secure. We'll do that. Okay, why didn't that work? Seriously, why did that not work? Ran? Is this in the way of something? Okay, I've broken something now. I don't know what it is. I will be right back. Okay, for the words, or for the next word, I have fixed the switch commands by adding a delay afterwards. So that should work. I should probably check it, but none of them are underneath the assemblers right now, so we'll do that later. And all of them are set offset now, so they're in their traveling position. Now then, let's say we're digging this way, and we get to however far we want to dig this way, and we need to go this way. We aren't going to be able to, because this part's in the way, so we'll need to back up a couple. We either need to back up a couple or go ahead a couple, then back up a couple. We should probably go ahead a couple so that we keep the same length of tunnel thing, digging out area. Otherwise it would get narrower and narrower as we went down. that's going to be the first one. So that will be like prepare to move sideways or prepare to move north-south. And then there's going to be a similar one for going down. But this one's going to be even more complicated because we have to do the same thing. But first we need to go an extra couple that way, then back, then we need to go an extra couple that way, then back, then we can go down. Because these are so much smaller. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do for that. So I have prep to move north-south, and then a prep to move down. Those are going to be the two words that will describe. The first thing we'll need to do is reverse direction and then back up a couple. And the prep to move down can include the prep to move north-south. I think that will be best. And then we'll actually move the north-south and head back the other direction. Okay, so let me program those words and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got the two prep commands. We got the prep move north-south. It's going to loop twice, so from here to here is the first, or the outer loop. And then inside it's going to move east-west twice. There's a loop there. And after it does that, it's going to switch east-west. And then it will go through that again. So what's going to happen is it's going to move two in one direction, switch directions, go back the other way 2 directions, and then switch directions again. What we need to do for the switch direction though is, since this isn't going to be resting underneath this once it's finished moving, that could be a problem. I suppose we could move this here. That one there. No, that one can't be moved there. Can it? And it also wouldn't matter because we wouldn't know which side it would need to be on. So what we need to do for the switch command is make sure that this pulses before it switches. And then it'll have to pulse again. So the switch command is actually going to move. Yep, that's going to be an issue. I have to fix that as well. But assuming we get the switch command working, we are going to actually make the main word to control this. So the 3 arguments we're going to want is how far we want to go that way in blocks, how far we want to go this way in chunks. Actually, no, we'll probably do blocks this way as well. Yeah, I think that would be best. And then how far down we want to go. Usually we aren't going to go very far down because if we're mining sand or cracked sand, it's not going to go very deep, but something like this is going to have more, and it shouldn't really matter. Okay, so I will fix the switch command first, and then make the whole word. There's going to be 3 arguments. We'll have x, y, so x, then y, or x and z, and then y. Which seems to be the easiest way to do that. Actually, that's not going to be the easiest way to do that. It needs to be z, then x and y. Z, then y, then x. Yep, that's the way it needs to be. Okay, so I'll type all that out. Be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I have increased the movement delay by, or up to 60. tick, so 3 seconds. I've also changed the prep move commands, so now it's switch, move, switch, so that it's ends the way it was facing the way it was starting. On both of these, so we have this one here too. Then I added the dig command, which is just to pulse the block breakers. And for the strip mine command, so the first thing that is on the stack is the Y, so how high we want to dig, and that's this loop to this loop. Then the second thing on the stack is the Z. We make a copy of that for the backup for when this outer loop runs again, and then that's how far this second loop that goes from here to here runs. And then right here is the X one. So first thing it does is swap with the copy with the X, makes a copy of the X, then runs however many times X runs. And that just pulses the light blue and moves 1 east-west. And that's the whole loop for the X. Then the outside that loop, we have the 16 times we prep move north-south, and then we move north-south. So that will allow us to move the whole width of this over before we head back in that direction again. After that, we have a swap command to put the X back on top of the stack. I'm not sure the X should be on top of the stack. Yes, it should. Okay, the swap command puts the X back on top of the stack. I think that needs to be changed. So we should have if X or if I is not 0. Now I'm confused. Swap dupe, swap. Yeah, the swap command should be after the loop is finished. So it should be move east-west, switch east-west, 16 plus loop. And this 16 plus loop just means it counts by 16. And the swap command is going to be moved to after the loop statement. Then, after the end of that loop, so that's this loop, we have a prep move down, and then we move north-south, switch north-south. That's just basically we go down and we want to go back in that direction. If we go back in the opposite direction we just moved to. So if we were digging this way and this way, then we would go down one and start digging this way and that way. Then we dig, we move down, we dig again, and then that ends that loop. Let's change. Yeah, it's still loading, so I'm going to change that off camera. Right here, I'm going to need to add some more solar panels, so I'm going to add 3 more right here. And that will link these two power things together, as well as provide a whole lot more power. Because this is going to be the one that's going to use the most power right here. But that is going to be all for this episode and for the stream. So like if you like, subscribe if you're not. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.